and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to the Devils of the West. Last we left, our brave rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting cow pokes had just finished taking out a one Abraham Lawless Henson, decapitating him and bringing his head along with them as reasonable proof of his elimination. Reasonable might be a strong word. I don't know how reasonable that is, but nevertheless, you are on the trail to Confluence City, Colorado.
Nice.
You'll be able to make it to Jasper before nightfall on that day. And I imagine you guys, if you want to sleep on the trail, you can make it through Jasper and make it a little further along the trail if you'd like to. Or
Stay
you
in
could
Jasper.
stay a night in Jasper if you'd like.
I prefer a night in the bed, personally.
Okay. You're able to find lodgings, decent meal, maybe some drinks if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get up to any particular tomfoolery, you can. Otherwise, we can kind of breeze past the night's sleep there.
Are we paying for a night's sleep?
For a nice night's sleep here, nice being a relative term, you get a couple like multi-bed rooms in a place. I'll say for the lot of yous, will probably be.
I've got at least the Deadlands thing. Boarding house with meals is $3 per day. Without meals, low class hotel $2, high class hotel $10.
So it's up to you. If you guys want to eat well, it's kind of a character decision here. It'll be $2 if you're fine with eating rations for the night. $3 if you want to have a drink and something nicer to eat.
3 brings me to a round number. So
Dinner does only run you $1, and that's good. There's also cheap if you'd rather pay 25 cents.
I'll pay $3 and get a nice meal.
A hearty meal before you get on the trip.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay $3 too. I'm gonna have a nice
no, only have to pay it once.
$3 and how much?
Is there any hot babes running this joint?
There's plenty that are willing for a small fee to keep you company for the night in this exact establishment.
I'm paying another $2 for a bottle of cheap whiskey.
Okay.
It's the Wild West.
We better actually get paid because my
How
funds
much?
are running low.
How much? Does it happen to have the service of a Lady of the Night?
It
in there?
probably does.
Seems like something Deadlands would have quantified for me. I can come up with a number too.
At least I would be
It's extra to get a
surprised
number.
if it-
They call it the Raskatoon Steamer.
Gross.
Nice.
Maybe it doesn't.
Shepherds is
have
just
it.
in a corner, just silently judging Deep Fingers.
Because I know it definitely has it in the
What are you, a man of God or something?
Pirates of the Spanish Coast.
Sorry you're not getting your dick sucked, Professor.
It's,
said Jeffrey,
surprisingly,
not Professor.
it does not seem to be on here.
If you want one of the pretty ladies, she's going to charge you $20 for the night.
I want one of the pretty ladies.
All right.
Paying for high class?
Mm-hmm. I got the money for it.
We've got a gold bar shoved up your ass.
You got a golden bar hidden in your mother's garden. And that's not a euphemism for anything. It is just a mother's garden. The old mother's garden, if you know what I'm saying.
Sounds
I'm gonna
good.
hide a gold bar in her garden, you know what I mean?
What does she look
That'll
like?
be $20. What was that?
Full description. What does she look like?
Full
No,
description.
get out of
Attractive.
Why you gotta... She has the attractive trait.
She has the attractive trait. Maybe even the very attractive trait.
Oh.
She's young, she's attractive, she's a nice lady, and we're going to leave it with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brunette. There's your description.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
How big are her tits?
Here.
Reasonable. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, a 9 out of 12.
A 9 out of 12 on the size scale, so sizable. There you
Double
go.
D's.
She could probably suffocate you with them.
It's
We should have rolled a d10 so it was like on a scale of 1 to 10.
how good.
But we just instinctively rolled with a d12.
Good stuff. So you all have a fairly restful night. Some of you are less restful than probably very restful after the deed is done, sort of a night. And next morning arrives.
We're headed out.
Y'all are hitting the road.
Her
name's Sally. If you ever want to come back calling for her.
Her name's Sally. I'm gonna.
You're not gonna remember that.
Sally and Jasper. There's always Sally and Jasper.
Yeah. Sally and Jasper.
You're not certain, but you might have fallen in love with her.
You never fall in love with a stripper.
I don't know. I think that if T-Pain's taught me anything, it's pretty musically sound advice to fall in love with a stripper.
This
I'm
one
in
goes
love
out.
with the stripper.
But sound isn't maybe the term.
I was gonna say this one goes out to all of our enlisted folks out there. Don't fall in love with the stripper.
You should definitely fall in love with a stripper, and then give her all your money.
Nothing wrong.
At the very least, it's
dancing
very Old West for an outlaw to
fall in love
True, fall in love with a.
What's the appropriate term? Is harlot inappropriate? Is harlot accurate?
I may not
Harlot's
have fallen
pretty
in love with
accurate.
her, but
It's
I
accurate,
will
it's
come
not-
back.
Is it offensive? What's the way to be accurate?
A
and
woman of the night,
a woman of the night. Is that the best way to say it?
probably.
I don't know.
A little wordy, but we'll
time
go with
machine.
woman of the
A
night.
great slut.
a sex worker. That's the modern appropriate term. Anyhow, you guys are back on the trail. Luckily, Confluence City, Colorado, is kind of near the southern border, and you guys, the southern border of Colorado, and Jasper, New Mexico, is right up on the northern border of New Mexico, near to the border with Colorado. So you guys are not in for too long of a trip by horseback, and it is all on trail. That's pretty well traveled.
Can you imagine we have to
What
hold?
do you do with the head?
Well, I don't want it.
at night.
I don't want it stinking up like my saddlebag, so I tie it to the burros.
It's an extra one?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just leave it
Just
out
leave it?
in the stable?
Yeah.
Okay.
What am I gonna do? Take it inside with me?
Well,
I don't know.
it sure would be inconvenient if somebody stole it or reported
Why
us to the
would
law.
somebody steal it? Also, I have a badge.
People do weird things. I don't know.
You
Kids-
do, throughout the course of the night, hear what sounds like the yelp of a dog.
Damn it. Alright, I'll check on it.
You go back down and go out, and you see a dog kind of limping away from the stables, and a rather huffed up mule
There you go.
inside of them.
I give it a pat and an apple. Good job.
Oh.
I would have been so mad if we lost out on $300 because a dog chewed up the guy's face. Well, sometimes you gotta make the hard choice.
I have Abraham Lawless Henson. It's like a mangled skull, fleshy skull with a tongue dangling out of it. Like, I don't know if that can really prove that it's him. We don't have dental records.
Well, I mean, you're not going to take my word for it, but the last thing he yelled was, "They don't call me lawless for nothing."
Yeah, so
I mean, you ever seen Abraham Lawless? He used to look like this, for all you know.
that is like the classic problem of bounty hunting is like you just you have your buddy you and your buddy jump a guy to get to collect on your buddy's bounty. It's like you got beat up.
Sure, that's him.
Yeah. Listen, the Wild West was called the Wild West for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Wild and west.
So let's.
Not east. West.
I guess we're heading on to Confluence City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heading on, it'll be probably just a day or two's ride. You'll have to sleep on the trail for one night. And you'll be arriving in Confluence City in the kind of late morning on the second day of travel. Arriving outside Confluence City, and that's if you're riding pretty hard and straight through and not taking breaks and stuff like that, which I assume is what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Arriving outside, it is, in terms of out here in the west, this is actually a city. We're talking paved roads, stonework, brick buildings mostly. Like, this is not the tumbleweed equivalent of a town, which is what most things around here are. This place is a fairly bustling little metropolis by the standards of the west. And there's wagons coming and going, people moving around inside this place. It's pretty bustling. Lots of coming and going.
Walls that offer good cover. That's nice to know.
Yeah, I'll head for the or I'll get directions to the Ranger headquarters.
Okay. Do you ask for directions from
Yeah.
somebody? Okay. We're saying the ranger asks for directions to ranger headquarters. Not saying anything.
Do you want me to roll for it? No, I don't want you throwing me to the bus.
I will make you roll for
narrator.
asking. Somebody is asking. Someone's asking.
I assume, and coming from Louisiana, I assume there are lots of ranger outposts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that not every ranger knows where everyone is.
Exactly. Reasonable.
Last time I was here, I was so pissed drunk.
Well, I haven't seen you drink much, but maybe that's the reason.
You have to learn your lesson sometime.
Just like my dad.
You guys will get directed by a local townsman to downtown, basically, of the city. That says that you'll see the headquarters there. It's pretty obvious. It's got a big star on the front of it.
I feel like headquarters is a very ironic term for our
For your current situation, yes, it is. And you guys kind of come in through the kind of outskirt section of town and ask someone on the way, and moving through that, it's clearly like kind of an industrial district. You move through there, you see multiple different like larger manufacturing buildings and stuff like that, and it eventually enters into the kind of main strip of town, which it's not unlike. It's kind of that kind of similar sort of T-shape, similar to what Raskatoon is, just everything bigger and nicer in scale. And you can see a number of pretty large buildings, a couple of like corporate offices that seem to be for like probably the railroad companies and stuff. There, along your path, you see what looks like a nice firearms place. You also, actually next door to a building that has a big rotten star on it, it's probably the headquarters of the Rangers, you do see a pretty nice big building that has a sign on the front that says Sykes Trading and Provision.
It was next door to the ranger office. Dang.
It's ballsy, that's for sure.
You do also see there's like a governmental building, as well as a number of probably houses that seem like the nicer, richer people in town.
There you go.
One particularly nice rich house.
Okay. Probably the mayor's house. In case you...
Should we go check
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
on
say.
his basement too?
Just like,
Everywhere. Open up.
check it. I feel like we just need a note from now on every time there's like the mayor's house. We're like, we got him.
You know, here it probably wouldn't be a mayor's house, it'd probably be a governor's house.
Oh, of course.
For Confluence City.
But there is also probably a mayor.
There's probably also.
We should check both their houses, is what I'm saying.
Just to be safe.
Just kick down his door.
Yeah.
Texas Rangers, can I help you? Just checking your basement.
There's nothing in the governor's basement.
Is
That
it like
sounds
a sex
suspicious.
dungeon down there?
Well, that's just
No, there's nothing. That's what I just said, isn't it? Anyway, you guys go to the Texas Rangers Colorado headquarters, and entering in, it seems like it's also kind of operates as like the jail and police station, and there's some people here who are clearly not rangers, they're just probably local police.
Your local Leos.
Yeah. And entering in, there's kind of like a front desk person, who's a guy in a blue uniform who sees you entering in holding a bloody bag, and he kind of like he sees the star.
wanted poster.
He sees the star and is like, Ranger, what you got there?
Got a bounty to collect.
Of course you do. Let me see the poster there. Just like, lawless, huh? Shot a man down not one building over from here.
Well, you know what they say: live by the sword, die by the sword, or hatchet in this case. I say like kind of like staring off to his left.
Well, he was shot with a rifle.
They don't need each other. It sounds better the way I said it.
I would also.
Well, however you said it, we're happy he's dead. I'm gonna have someone track down Mrs. Sykes to confirm the identity of this fella, and then we'll have your payment. You can head up to the office of Captain Fox. He'll have the any further details or jobs for you as far as being ring.
I'm also going to preface this that Professor Bogus is not in the building with them, as he made clear in the last session.
You stay out front.
Well,
You do see a guy in a blue police uniform leave the front door and go next door to the building and enter in. And after a little bit of time, he will come back with a nice-looking
I
lady.
make sure that I'm not there.
You head upstairs to talk to Captain Fox. The rest of you guys, you can hang out in the lobby.
I mean, it wasn't entirely clear whether or not we were invited up, but
You're not.
I guess I was about to say. I guess you probably got like a debrief or something.
I'm
So
outside.
You're out front as
I'm
well.
just hanging outside the station.
All right, so you
I'm with the horses.
and Deep Fingers are both hanging out front of the station.
I
We're
mean,
both hooligans.
No,
what do you think? We
one's
just wait in the
hooligan
lobby, or
and
should we
the
just go out and
professor.
wait with the horses with everybody else?
I can wait in the lobby.
I didn't know this guy had a widow.
Sit on a chair. Put my
I'm not
dusty
saying I feel
boots up
bad.
on another chair.
Yeah.
This lady is going to come in along with an officer, and this officer is going to be like, "Now, ma'am, I'm rather sorry for the nature of this, but we just need to confirm someone took Lawless out." And she's like, "Somebody finally shot the bastard? Good, let me see it." You see, like, kind of like peels back the bag, and she looks at it, "That's him, all right," and spits on his face.
All right, there we go.
I'd have been disappointed if I hit the wrong man.
And she's gonna look around and be like, "Was the damn folk what did it?" And they'll be like, "Yes, Mrs. Sykes, they came in with the ranger who did it." And she's gonna walk over to you, to the two of you who stayed in there, be like, "What are your names?"
I swear my immortal revenge.
Well, name's Jeffers.
You know, she'll pretty, like, ladylike take your hand and shake it.
I will. I'll do the whole like.
My name's Jeffers. Been baptized 10 years ago
Yeah.
today.
She seems to be dressed in high quality but practical clothing.
Ed.
Well, that's no name for a lady. So say, "But I'm not all that ladylike myself, so I won't take too much of offense to it. Tilda Sykes, current owner and proprietor of Sykes Trading and Provisioning. If you ever need anything, you will have a discount in my store for as long as I'm in charge of it. Thank you very much for bringing justice to this lawless pig."
Happy to help, man.
Now we know where you got the name from.
And she'll bow to you guys and walk away. A little courtesy and leave.
Take her leave.
There you go. And walking upstairs, you kind of head up, and there's a number of different offices with different names, and you see the big one at the end of the hall is clearly Texas Ranger Captain Moses Fox. There we go.
I'll this is where it gets a little hot under the collar for old McCann here. Or should I put quotes around McCann?
You do whatever you want
I
to do.
know. All right, we'll enter it.
Hey, what day of the week is it?
Or I'll knock.
Is it Mocan or Mohan?
Sorry, Mohan.
Okay.
Actually,
So you knock.
Not my O is a
here.
C.
Come on in.
Open it.
Walking in, you see a guy sitting behind the desk who is black as midnight with like a kind of salt and pepper beard, and he's got no hat on at the moment. He's got a shaved head, and he's got kind of glassy looking right eye. It looks like kind of maybe cataract over a little bit on the right side, and he's sitting there with like a missive in front of him that is right, and he's gonna look up at you and be like, kind of tune in and be like, "Mohan, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Captain Fox.
Words precede you just a touch. That sounds like the trouble in Raskatoon got dealt with. Knew I could trust you with it."
I'm a very experienced and capable Texas Ranger, sir.
He's gonna kind of write for things and be like, "How's Dorothy?"
You know how? Oh no. Well, she's doing just fine. Thank you for asking.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Oh no. I'm gonna write that in my notes.
Wife, sister, or daughter. Wife, sister, or daughter.
Question mark.
My guess is either wife or daughter.
Yeah.
My guess is wife.
Hopefully, wife. I'd feel really bad if it was daughter.
He's gonna be like, "Well, there's no other direct assignments I have for you at the moment. I can tell you right now, there's enough trouble going on in this city that I'm sure you could do some good just wandering around here and helping. Enough going on that the police force tends to keep busy enough. You also earned yourself a little R&R if you'd like to take some time and just relax in the city. You of course we can got beds and stuff here if you'd like to shack up somewhere."
Well, I'd appreciate it.
"Did you end up having to assemble any sort of posse?"
I did.
All right, and he's gonna be like,
Yeah,
"Kind of look
take
this up."
Form AB.
How many?
That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 folks.
4 of them. Alright, man. And then sign something, you seem like take a stamp.
Oh,
stamp
there were 6 of them.
Yeah. And he's gonna be like, he's gonna kind of deem to it, and you see there's 4 like just unmarked letters, and he's just gonna hand them up to me. I make sure they get each of these, and of course our sincerest thanks for assisting in Ranger operations. Good to see you there, and you take care.
You as well, sir.
You're gonna-
Another social interaction navigator.
You leave the door and walking out, there's kind of another ranger walking towards you. A younger looking guy, kind of baby faced, but he lights up as soon as he sees you. And he's like, Mohan, you son of a bitch, come here! And he goes to give you a
I have
hug.
to full commit. You just gotta
Go ahead and with this guy, give me a
persuasion.
performance or deception or whatever there is for that.
Let's see. There's
I think it'd probably be-
There is a performance.
there's a performance. There's persuasion, but there isn't a deception.
I'd let you use persuasion or performance.
Do you got either one of those?
I have a D8 in persuasion.
Oh,
That's
there
why
you
I was
go.
angling for it. That's a 5.
Okay. He seems reasonably convinced. You can be like, what brings you to Confluence City? I thought you were out on the trail hunting old what's-his-name.
Well, I was hunting Abraham Henson most recently, and I just got back from a job in Rascatoon.
Ah, so you were the one who was sent to Rascatoon.
Who was the guy before that? I'm blanking on his name.
You're blanking on his name? Go ahead and roll me another persuasion.
A 5.
It's
It's only my arch nemesis. Yeah,
It's gonna be like,
It's only the man what shot your dad and your mom and your brother and your dog and burned your house down.
like, man, did you get knocked on the head in Rascatoon? Frankie Two Guns, of course.
Of course. Listen, there's a lot of bounties that I've been wrestling with recently.
Well, did you get him or what?
You know, he got the drop on me and got away, so he's still on the list.
Well, I'll be collecting that bounty before you then, you son of a bitch.
We'll see about that.
Good old Mohan. You take care, buddy. And
Yeah,
he's
you
gonna start
too.
walking towards
You two,
Fox's
pal.
office.
Walk out. Oh goodness! I kind of like listen to hear if like the captain like yells at him or like says his name or anything.
And walking in, he's gonna be he's gonna be like, Bill, come on in.
Okay, who is?
I assume you're here for your pay. Well, hell yeah, I'm here for my pay, Captain.
Why else would I want to look at your grizzly old ass? All right. Why you gotta?
You get
Why you
mine.
gotta do this stuff today?
Why do they call him Frankie Too Good?
Well, I've got 2 boys.
There's also just, if you've seen Unforgiven, there's a joke in there about how it's like they called this guy so and so, like 2 Gun so and so, but he didn't actually carry 2 guns. They called him 2 Guns because his dick was so big, and it looked like he had a second gun shoved down his pants. If he had been carrying 2 guns, he wouldn't have died that day when he got bill shot.
All right. Well, that's just a whole. I need to sit down and talk about my backstory. So we actually have something to go on because I have like the character that I totally am, but that I was back in the battle days, and we need to talk about that because I came up with a good concept for it.
Good,
I'm
perfect,
gonna go over it.
perfect.
Anyway, that's off-camera stuff. We didn't get to know about
well,
that.
that conversation's happening. Another conversation is going to happen in the lobby. A gentleman is going to approach the 2 of you what stayed in the lobby. Jeffries and Ed, I believe, are those 2. You see a guy walk up to you. He's wearing kind of like a long trench coat, kind of a long leather, not really a duster. It's a little more formal than that.
Like a kind of like an overcoat.
Kind of like an overcoat, yeah. The clothes underneath seem like ratty dress clothes. Like he's wearing he's got like a vest and a tie, but they don't seem like they're the nicest. And he's got a kind of a narrow-brimmed hat. And he's gonna walk up to the 2 of you, and he's gonna kind of take the hat off and bow, and he's gonna reach a hand and be, R.R. Blevins. Nice to meet you. Your names?
Well, the name's Jeffers.
And he shakes yours. And yours, little lady?
Ed.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you both. He doesn't offend me.
R. Blevins.
He's gonna be like, I hate to ask, you folks just came in having tracked down a bounty, is that right? You're rangers? Rangers new in town, at least?
Working with rangers.
Well, I hate to ask this. The rangers won't listen to me, but there's... again, R. Blevins, I'm a private investigator, and I've been hired looking for some information on recent disappearance of a couple of youngins. And I think I've tied it together with a couple other disappearances, and everyone thinks I'm wild and that it's just unrelated stuff, but there's been a couple of disappearances in a pretty close proximity recently, and I need someone with some authority to help look into it.
On your
Well, sir, we'll talk to our friend. And
Be like,
Dr. Best
Corporal,
try.
as soon as he kind of like walking the stairs to see if the
he'll be like,
for the corporal
if you
to
don't
be-
mind, I'll wait with you to speak with him.
It's fucking fine by me.
Okay?
well, while you're here, have you ever heard of the good news of the Lord Jesus Christ?
Let's find out.
This feller's awful jumpy for a private investigator.
That's why he's jumpy. He's constantly having to duck behind
He's
corners.
gonna be like, well, of course, I go to church every Sunday, my good friend, and I appreciate you being a man willing to speak the word, though.
Yes. God is good. What day is it, by the way?
Thursday.
Thursday.
No, Saturday. It'd be Saturday.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, in light of that, speaking of that, where is the church here in town?
Well, there's a number of churches. There's the larger cathedral just down the street here. I personally go to a smaller organization a little further into more of the people's part of town, the average man's part of town. There's a small wooden church down there started by a nice older feller, but you're welcome to come, of course.
Well, I'll try my best to make it. I don't miss church often.
He'll give you kind of some brief directions
Okay.
to get to.
People's church.
People's church.
The people's church.
It makes it sound like
It's like people's court. Yeah.
The church that has a name, and I totally.
It should be church's chicken.
It is
The church's chicken.
the.
Church's chicken.
I don't know enough about religion to come up with a saint's name off the top of my head. It's going to be called
St. Patrick?
St. Mary's.
There you go.
St. Mary's.
Okay.
Sorry, I was on the phone with that. It's work stuff. I'm technically on call this week.
He doesn't
Somebody
count.
had to be.
It's always
Somebody
Someone
has
has to be. It's not me this time.
I guess we're just waiting for the.
And a little bit of time will pass, and the corporal will come down the stairs, and you'll see them standing with the guy I described before.
Well, I got your pay.
Are you the corporal?
I am.
You're a ranger then, an actual
Yes.
ranger.
You see, like, a brief look of panic.
Like a bead of sweat.
Yeah. It's like
He's wearing a badge. Isn't
it looks like just like a brief look of shock that just like is instantly locked down. But is
He's gonna be like, R. Blevins, pleasure to meet you. And he shakes your hand. You know, I'm telling your friends here, I've been on the trail of a disappearance of a couple of young people recently, and I feel I've tied it together with a couple other disappearances. And I can't find a common beat between them, but they happened in close proximity and in similar piece of time recently, and no one with any real authority will give me any listening to, and then we need someone to stop these from happening before someone else goes missing.
well, I'm not on a assignment at the moment, so I wouldn't mind seeing what I can do to help you out. Of course, these folks here, I can't promise you guys any pay for it necessarily, so help at your own risk, I guess, or on your own initiative. But I'd be willing to help you out.
All right, here's my card. It has the address of my office. You come to it, I'll explain everything to you.
Can do.
How much is in our envelopes?
Do you give everyone their envelopes?
Yes.
$50 in everyone's envelope.
Getting paid. I assume I get $50 as well.
Sure. Yeah. You get $50.
Do I collect my pay?
I guess you don't actually get 50. I'll tell you what you get.
There we go.
Because you don't get extra for completing your job.
Right.
You are a corporal. You get $45. You get your next pay.
I mean,
we get more.
Do we get the money from the bounty?
And you will, and coming back down once it's been confirmed, you guys will also have $300 to split whatever way you all see fit. I don't have to do that math. I'm the GM.
That brings me up to that number.
I mean,
The number is given, or the $300 is given to you as a ranger, and then you
Put a 3 in front of it.
$60 a person.
Okay. Everyone will get $60.
Yay!
However, before y'all two outside get your pay, a rather unscrupulous looking individual is going to come up to you. A guy kind of walks up. He's got a little bit of like a kind of limp to the cadence in his step, and he's got very dodgy eyes. His hair is kind of ratty, greasy, and overgrown, and he has kind of a 5 o'clock shadow. It doesn't look like he's someone who shaves regularly and it grows back. It looks like he's just someone who's kind of got a very short, scraggly beard naturally. He's got a little bit of a mad eye, and he's gonna kind of come up to you and he's gonna be like, "New in town, eh?" Look at the two of you. This being Professor and Deep Fingers.
Yeah. We just came in.
Who wants to know?
Well, someone probably already does. He's gonna say, looking back and forth, "You want your fortune told? You want to see the beyond seen?"
You listen here.
This guy's kind of wandering off.
With this kind of, I do not partake in this witchcraft or whatever you bumpkins call it. Now step back.
And he's gonna be like, I meant no offense. You seem a reasonable sword friend. I personally cannot foresee what is to be unseen, but I have a considerable debt, and someone I owe that to has asked me to hand these out." And he's going to give a little like flyer to you and be like, "Just consider it very reasonable, I assume." And he's gonna kind of wander away from you.
Gambling debts.
And looking at it looks like it's something from like a pamphlet or poster that's been ripped out. And what you see is like a kind of stylized drawing of two long fingered hands over orb, like a crystal ball, and it says Spindly Norman at the top.
I don't like the sound of that.
And
For some reason, if it was a name other than if it was Spindly Jeff, it'd be slightly better. Somehow Spindly Norman just really rasps at me, and I don't like it.
And it says Spindly Norman across the top, and then like that's printed on this, and then written on it is an address.
Short fingers, come on. You can't be willing. You can't fall for this kind of stuff, can you?
Look, he's got spindly fingers. You got deep fingers. You are one and the same.
But, Professor, he could tell us our fortune.
There's no such thing as knowing the future or your fortune. That's not a thing.
Well, I mean, you make gadgets that I don't understand like half the time, or all of the time, so...
It is science. I wouldn't expect you to understand it.
So, are you... I'm gonna go.
And about this time, they all walk out, and he gives you your pay.
Oh, okay. Hey, take a look at this.
You see what's clearly... Let's look at it. It looks like it's ripped out of, like... For instance, like if there was like a freak show circus pamphlet that would like flyer that was being handed out, it looks like it's ripped off from a page of that.
Some
Scammers and snake oil salesmen.
someone.
A really shady character gave that to us, and now he's over here thinking he needs to go get his fortune read. Crack a
Well,
shit.
I'm not one to tell you what to do with your
there's
situation.
higher powers to turn to. Well, should I say a higher power?
Higher power. Got Cthulhu over there.
And I just happen to blink head. Like what?
And the moment I hear Jefferson say that, I go, Jefferson, don't you start, man.
Haven't you listened to your mother at all?
No.
I don't think
Foolish
she listens
boy.
to very much about anything, unless it's got tits or alcohol in it. Really nothing can keep Short Finger's attention.
That is true.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying, he's making that sketchy guy hand out pamphlets of his business. I mean, no harm in checking it out.
Grimes, if you want to go get your fortune told, no one here can stop you. You're a free man.
I mean, from, there's, the werewolves and who knows? Who knows at this point?
Yep.
Maybe there's people that can really tell your fortune.
That's not the craziest thing Grimes has ever said.
It's true.
What is the craziest thing Grimes has said?
It's
I
a
think
good
it was
question.
firing your gun into the air to try to get Spanky to go across the river.
Probably the craziest thing I've done was shove a gold bar in between my cheeks and run. But also the smartest thing I've ever done.
I'm sure you think so.
Man, I'm a genius.
So what's your guys' next move?
Well, we need to go talk to this fella.
Yeah. Did he want us to come today, or did he want us to come?
He didn't specify.
All right.
You
Well,
can follow him there. He's only maybe a 10,
There
20
he
feet
is.
ahead
There
of
he
you,
is,
walking
down the
probably
block.
back to his office right
yeah.
now.
I mean, I'll check with you guys, make sure there's not something else you wanted to get done today.
Maybe get my fortune told.
I think for the sake of this development, Professor Grimes has to go with or Professor Grimes.
Professor Grimes.
That's your future. If you shoot straight, young man.
Oh gosh.
Just for the sake of this
Imagine me a
development.
I'm Professor Grimes. Welcome to 6A.
Sir, this is a community college. How are you a professor?
No. I'm gonna tell you about this time where I smoked
I
some.
signed up for botany.
Shut up. Let me tell you about this lady. Huge plots of land. Now, when I mean plots of land, we're talking about vocabulary, okay? And vocabulary definition of huge
So
plots.
anyway, you guys are just gonna go to his address.
Yeah.
And out
Professor
front you
Bogues
see
will go with
private investigator R.R. Blevins on a small sign in front of a fairly small little building. Inside of which there is basically this guy has a desk inside of it's like a one-room little building. Then he has a desk inside of there with like a number of like cabinets and stuff with files and papers. And he's like, "Oh, y'all didn't waste any time at all.
Well,
Thanks for coming so quick."
not like we had anything else going on today.
I'll be like, "Please, take a seat." There's like 2 chairs in front of him. Be, whichever of you'd like to, feel free to take a seat.
Well, if you can step out if you like. I don't know if all of us need to be crammed in this little room. No offense.
No, none taken.
Yeah, we'll lean against the outside of
So,
the
like,
building
okay.
and watch the street, I guess.
All right.
I'll just light my pipe.
All right.
Professor Bogues just gonna have a nice.
So who is inside?
I'll stay inside.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Jeffers.
Okay. Are you standing inside or are you standing outside?
Or are you going to get your fortune told?
I'll wait until after. I'm gonna make all of you come with me.
I do think it is probably a good idea that Grimes doesn't go alone.
I'm gonna be
Spindly
smoking.
Norman's a super chill guy.
I'm
He's not
gonna be
gonna rob
smoking
it.
my pipe with.
Well, I was about to say before I screwed it up, I was gonna say Professor Bogues needs to go with Grimes because just for this guy, just for the character arc here, just to go with him.
What?
No towers on my table.
Fair enough.
So, he will describe to you what he knows. He says, in total, there are... He said, in total, there are 5 disappearances that I believe are related. One, it's questionable whether it is. Anyone else I told you was related to any of these, they'd call me crazier than they've already called me. There's, first, the people I'm working for, the McGees. Local, fairly well-to-do family. Got 2 kids. They're actually, it's a brother and sister, Samuel and Molly McGee. They apparently were out playing in an alley and haven't been seen in near a week now. In this same week's time, however, multiple other people have disappeared in just a couple blocks vicinity of there. And one was a local handyman by the name of Jeff Rivers. He was out and about doing his job and just hasn't returned back in some time. It took him a while. He maybe disappeared weeks ago, but no one's seen him in at least a week's time. Other is a lady by the name of Kate Duff. And she manages a local bed and breakfast around here, and apparently was out grocery shopping or something for the business and never came back. Last, and this is the one that people might question, is Oscar O'Neill. He's a local drunk, lives out of a small shanty, but an altogether fairly decent human being, and disappeared in the same alley the kids did. At least that's where he was last seen.
Alright.
People think that he's just drank himself to death in a gutter somewhere, but no one's found a body.
And what do you believe the connection is?
I believe the connection is these people are disappearing without a trace in a short period of time around the same area. I don't have any leads on who would be doing such a thing, and there's no real consistency between them. It's not all kids or all men or all women. It seems to be somebody blindly lashing out. Now, it might be unrelated. This might be unrelated things, and maybe some of these folks will turn back up, but with 2 kids missing, I want to get to the bottom of it. I figured the Rangers might be some better suited if there's darker intention set here. Normally I'm just spying on people's lovers and making sure they don't have other lovers.
But that's just in spare time.
That's just my spare time. That's pleasure, not business.
Well, we can check it out.
Milky White Eye, 2
see what
missing
we can.
kids. Turns out to be a lot more true detectives.
I can tell you about the alley that the kids and Oscar were last seen in, but other than that,
Do you have a general, I don't know if I have a city map or anything like that. It's just like, I'm sure he has one with like red strings and stuff all over the place. So
he'll pop out a Confluence City map, and he basically says like all the disappearances are in this kind of vicinity, and it seems to be kind of roughly where the average wealth residential district kind of butts up against the industrial district.
Okay. Well, we'll have ourselves a little manhunt.
I appreciate anything you can find to help bring these people home.
Out of curiosity, not that I'm in the room, but where's this whatever Norman,
Spindly Norman.
Spindly Norman's like,
His shack, it would actually fall into that area.
Ooh.
Here we go.
we know there's people running around delivering.
Well, I guess we're headed for that part of town anyway.
I do want to buy
Grazie.
at some point. Stop off and buy a box of shotgun shells with the sawed-off shotgun.
Okay.
Just in case.
Here, locally, you can see 2 businesses probably would have it. One being Sykes Trading and Provisioning, the other being Straub's Firearms.
I'll go to Sykes Trading because that lady likes us.
Okay.
Not that getting a discount on $2 is all that significant.
So you're just getting like 1 box, or you can, yeah. If you want, she'll charge you $1.50 for it instead of $2.
Well, I appreciate it.
Never mind.
All right.
Well, I guess we're headed that way anyway, Grimes.
Yeah.
Foolish boy.
Well,
What's
Is this
your
gonna be the
clues about
first?
your
Is this gonna be the
future?
first thing that
I know my
Jeffers
future's
and the
gonna be.
professor agree on?
Eternity,
I need to hard
my
mode.
Lord, Savior Jesus Christ.
The only
That's
people
how
who can see
sad.
the future is the saints. That's all I know. The Lord gives these visions, not spindly strangers. So you guys are heading to the address on Spindly Norman's flyer.
Yeah.
Might as well start there, I guess. So this seems like something Erickson has prepared, and I'm interested to see what it is.
It's up to you. Hey, you don't have to go. You don't have to go anywhere. Who knows what's prepared?
But you gave us the flyer.
I didn't. Some creepy, sketchy guy gave you that. You follow that, that's your own problem.
And Professor Bogus told him to fuck off.
So you guys go to this address, and it looks like it's it looks kind of like a 2-story house that has had a house fire in it or something. Like it's kind of damaged and seems more or less abandoned. Like the base level is like doors are boarded up, windows are boarded up, and it looks pretty damaged and scorched. But there is like a staircase that goes up the side to a door on the second floor. And the stairs seem more or less functional, and that door does not appear to be boarded up.
I'm going inside.
You're heading up there? Anyone else heading up there with her? With him?
I'll go with Grimes.
Okay. Anyone else heading up there? Or everyone else?
Are we
heading
gonna?
downstairs?
Is like?
I'm gonna take a look around the outside and see if there's like a.
Would it be safe to leave our horses here, or is this like?
There's hitching posts along the roads in places you could tie them off, and they wouldn't get. There's other people's horses around here, so it's not like if somebody were to blatantly steal the horse, it'd be very obvious because there's people coming and going on the streets.
Fair enough.
I'll stay back and pray for Grimes's not getting deceived by the evil demonic forces.
Sorcerers.
I guess I'll wait at the bottom of the stairs till I almost called him the sheriff. Until the ranger's done with his loop of the building.
Yeah. And I'll probably like try and chat with folks and ask if they see anything out of the ordinary or.
I'll probably head up into. I'll probably head up as well. I just like if he does a loop of the building, comes back around and is like, "Yep, there's a stack of bodies out back."
Yeah. The loop won't take long. It's not a huge building, so you're able to loop around. Let's go and roll me a notice.
You notice a raccoon.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep trying. I guess it's just because I'm the ranger, but I'm like, no, I'm not actually very good at this.
But you can be lucky.
Can be very lucky. It's a 12.
So, circling around this building, it is clearly damaged. Clearly there's a fire here, but seems to still be structurally sound. It looks like it's, like, at least the bottom is, like, foreclosed and, like, shut down. But you don't notice any dead bodies. There's no, like, signs of anything in the way around the outside of it. You notice people kind of, with that notice, you see that people kind of give this building a fairly wide berth, but apart from that, nothing of particular note.
Okay.
So, Grimes, Professor, Ed, you're all going up the stairs. Are you staying downstairs?
Yeah, I'm going to try and chat with folks as they pass.
Okay. What do you ask? We'll start with that. So, some people go by. What are you asking them?
I'll ask them if they've heard anything strange around the time that those folks went missing.
They'll say there's always strangeness around this place.
Oh yeah, please.
That creature who lives up there is no good. He's pure evil, if you ask me. Okay. Some freak show came through town, and he stayed behind. No good. I'd stay away from that place if I were you.
Okay. About what time? Like, when did that freak show come through?
Been here a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Who moves into a damn near burnt down building? Ain't right.
Quite strange.
Back to you guys.
Incoming is either the villain of this little story arc or a new lovable NPC, and I haven't figured out which Erickson's angling for.
All I know is if this NPC pisses Professor Bogus off, he might end up dead.
You open the door and there's like a little bell that's been like affixed to the top that the door hits, and it like makes it ding as you walk in, even though this is a one-room thing and anyone inside of it would, or there's 2 rooms, I guess there's a door behind it, but there's someone sitting inside of here, so they would clearly see anyone walk in, but there's still a little bell to ding. And so you walk in, and sitting in front of you is a very, very strange man. He is wearing dark clothing, fairly basic looking clothing. He looks borderline inhuman. He is very, very tall, very, very lanky. maybe one of those like weird diseases that are like the giantism kind of thing. They're like your limbs grow really long. He's very rail thin, but he is sitting. He's got kind of very sharp, angular features on his face. He has very pale skin. He's shaved bald, has no eyebrows, and is sitting at what I can only describe as a child's desk, sitting in a child's chair. But he is probably in the mid to high end of 6 feet tall, and so it's like he's sitting and his knees are up on either side near to like his chest, and he's kind of like hunched down with this tiny little desk in front of him and this small chair behind him, and there's a glass ball on a little bronze stand in front of him. And he looks up with a smirk at each of you, and all three of you who came into this room, I would like to go ahead and roll me spirit rolls. However, I need to know which of you have been baptized. You've been baptized. Have you been baptized,
yes,
Professor?
You do. You've got spirit. How about
Probably when I was when I was born.
When you were young, you got baptized. I know you don't believe in it now, but as a kid, you were baptized, right?
Well, isn't
Yeah.
that we wrote that down?
Yeah, you had a questionnaire
Yeah.
where I think you answered those.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
To which approximately half of my answers were born and raised Baptist.
My answer to that question was I was baptized in the name of science.
God exists.
But,
Born and raised Baptist.
but the probably real
Born and
answer
raised
was
Baptist.
I most likely was baptized and I just
As a kid by your parents, but you don't believe it anymore.
Now, this is a spirit roll, not like a fear-specific spirit
It is
roll.
a fear specific.
Okay.
So if you have something for it, you'll
okay.
get a bonus.
I do get something for that statement.
but wait. So do I just roll a regular spirit roll?
It's just regular spirit roll. You were baptized as well,
Yep.
right? Okay.
My mother would piss herself if I wasn't.
It was forceful, but Grimes was back.
But it
She
did.
was like, "I'll drown you myself, little boy." Either way.
It's a 5.
5?
7.
7?
7?
7. Okay. You are immediately unsettled by this guy, but nothing else.
Alright.
Oh, anyway, I stopped blasting.
Ooh.
This is the future.
If I have to haul one you in for murder, it's gonna be a real pain.
He kind of like looks across at each of you expectingly.
I'm gonna sit down right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is
Grimes.
another chair in front of the desk that is also a child-sized chair.
I'm gonna
Alright.
sit and try to get comfy as I can in a child's chair.
Not comfy at all.
Not comfy at all.
How much do you charge for fortunes?
Gonna look at you and he's
Damn it.
gonna look up at the and be like, "So this is what's brought you to Norman Shack.
Yes.
You wish to see your future, yes?"
Yes.
And he kind of
What else
reaches a
would've-
hand
what
out
else
towards
would've-
you. That's kind of shaking
What
with
else
his
would
long
have brought us
fingers.
towards Norman's shack?
Yeah.
He's like, "I mean no ill will, no pain, no harm. Do you want a true reading or a false one? Some people prefer
False.
Give me a
False.
true reading. And how much?
If it is false,
Yes,
would you
eh?
want to know that it's false?
For a true reading, $20 is all I charge to see the future."
That's kind of a lot.
What a scam.
It's like
It's not a scam! He says, he like kind of glares at you. He says, "You do not understand. Norman can see the unseen, explain the unknown. Trust Norman."
No.
The little hand thing made it seem like it was a Jedi mind trick.
You don't get, your mind is not affected when he does that. But he is very expressive with his arms are also very long and lanky, and they have to like reach around his tucked up knees to kind of like gesture at you guys. Because he's in this tiny chair as this tall, lanky individual.
Short fingers, I ain't gonna tell you how to spend your money, but I'm just saying you could spend it more wisely than here.
Shut up.
He takes the 20 and he kind of quickly, you set it on the desk and his long fingered hand like slaps and slides it over to him, and he like quickly kind of balls it up and tucks it into a shirt pocket.
Now tell me the fortune, weird man.
Norman has a name, it is Norman. He starts clicking his fingers along this crystal ball, and as he does so, he's kind of clicking along here, and you see like a light kind of illuminate underneath, and it shines through this thing, and it seems like this crystal ball has like maybe kind of fought like liquid with something kind of foggy and almost like the weird stuff that floats around in kombucha. If you've seen that, and there's like some gross flimmy bits floating around in it that like this light kind of lights up underneath as he's clicking he has kind of long fingernails on these long fingers that he clicks along it, and he looks and he says, yes, yes. Oh, I see very much your future. Your immediate future. A dangerous future it is. You and all your friends. You're on the trail of blood, yes? A blood trail is what you seek. But when you find it, and he reaches that finger towards you again, do you slap it, or... When you find it, and he pokes you right in between your eyes on your forehead, he says, it will lead to blood, of course. Where else would a blood trail lead but blood? Flesh and blood, yes? Thank you. Anyone else need a reading? Yes?
Short fingers, we literally just turned in a bounty where we turned in a severed head of a lawless man.
That trail is behind you. I speak of the trail ahead, of course. This is not me telling the past, but the future. If you would like me to read your past, I can do so as well.
Yeah, I think I remember that somewhat.
Many forgetful nights, yes. It is good.
And I'm gonna get up from this child chair that's probably stuck to my booty.
So it's awkward to stand up from, but you're able to do so.
Alright.
Tell your friends of Norman if they need their futures told.
Thanks,
$20.
Norman.
$20 is just a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, that was quite a bit for that.
Wait, how much did you pay?
$25.
20, just 20.
You,
20.
you got ripped off.
Unless you gave him a tip.
Should've.
If you handed him 25 instead, I mean.
He doesn't give change.
Well, thanks for the tip, buddy. And I'm just gonna walk out and rub my forehead.
There's like a little bit of like ash or like soot that was on the end of his finger that's there. And he'll be just say, if you need more, tell friends. Come, Norman will see their futures as well. And lie to them if they wish.
Thanks. We'll pass the
But if you
neighbor
lie to
around.
me and I know you're lying,
Does that mean
does that mean the opposite is true? So you're telling me the truth?
Some prefer a false truth, for it is far more comfortable than a painful truth. Yes? You understand? If you pay me less, I could lie to you in a way that will make you feel better about what's about to happen.
What's about to happen to me?
Oh, that'll be $20, of course.
You're about to lose $20.
I'm not really interested in paying this guy $20 for him to say, you're doing a side quest.
Yes.
I look at the little lady. I'm just like, little lady, don't you dare! I swear to God.
Why would you swear to God?
Careful,
That's
you
the
might touch you, weirdo.
If God didn't exist, then why do you swear to God? Gotcha, atheists!
I'm leaving. This guy's creeping me out. And I don't feel... I mean, look, man, $20 is a lot of money.
That's no chump change. But it's seeing the future, I mean...
How can you put a price
How
on
can you
that?
put a price on that?
Says every
That is
fortune
not-
teller ever.
That is not seeing the future. As I'm walking out the door, I just make one final snarky comment, like, nice little science trick you just did there. And then I just walk right out, not even giving him a chance to retort.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we've gained from this.
And friends.
Tell friends.
Well,
I mean, I don't like him, but I don't necessarily know if there's anything.
follow a trail of blood that leads to blood that... Blood?
Blood.
Blood?
Blood and blood. That's all we know is that we're on blood and trails.
I mean, we could ask around and see if anybody saw the people we're looking for
Maybe a trail of blood?
go in there, or if anybody's seen a trail of blood, that'd be convenient.
Well, we can just investigate the alley and see if there's some blood.
I feel like the
Blood,
inspector
blood,
feller probably
blood.
would have done that.
Blood.
Well, we can at least check. Can't hurt to.
He also, like, for the sake of this, like, he did give you the address of the
McGee family.
the McGee family, as well as the address of the
Alleyway.
not the you know where the alleyway is, as well as the address of the bed and breakfast
Okay.
that Kate Duff was the manager of.
If we're gonna do some investigating, we might as well do some proper police investigating. So we'll go talk to the
Kicking
parents.
doors, grabbing suspects.
Right. No knock warrants in the middle of the night. Guns blazing. Sorry, is that a little too much?
that worked great for us in Raska too.
It's true. You're not wrong. We had a little bit more leads in that one.
We got one lead. Blood.
I wouldn't mind asking some of the people like on the street who seemed like they might live or work around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, because it seems like some people are like they know about Spindly Norman.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to ask around and see if any of them if they saw like a couple of kids that looked like brother and sister go in there, or like a ratty drunk or anything. Like if there's just like
Okay.
Yeah, give
like,
them descriptions.
Yeah, just like is like do they see like does like the people that go in there, do you see them come out?
Go and roll persuasion.
Oh.
If only I could help you.
Zero.
People seem not super willing to talk about Spindly Norman Shack. They mostly just give you the I wouldn't go up there, that dude gives me the creeps. Sure, some people go, I wouldn't expect any children to go up there. Most children are too scared to go near that house. And like most people just say everyone who goes in there leaves as far as they've ever seen. They just don't trust the creepy guy.
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't seem like a murderer.
I mean, we did have to ask if we were baptized or not, which is kind of creepy.
You don't know that. I asked that as the game master.
Yeah, that's
to know that you're aware of whether or not you're baptized, because maybe that affected things.
That's secret knowledge.
That's not something you knew that I asked as a character.
I tried to make it more sturdy that time.
I went for the structural weak point and wiggled it around.
Yeah, I mean, we can start with we can ask the McGee's some questions and take a look at that bed and breakfast, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't really have any other leads at the moment.
It's true.
I don't think Spindly Norman's going anywhere.
That is true.
I think he's gonna stay his big butt in that tiny chair.
He's got a probably very small butt.
Skinny something.
Long, thin butt.
The worst kind.
Would you say it's a Hank Hill ass?
Probably. Probably. So, where are you guys heading to first? The McGee's?
We'll head to the McGee's first.
Okay. You go to the address. It's a fairly nice house in the average wealth living district.
Middle class, you went comfortably middle
Seem
class.
like upper middle class folks. Nice house on the neighborhood of a decent neighborhood.
Well, I'll knock on their front door.
Okay. A little bit of time will go by, and a gentleman will answer the door. He's pretty bright red haired. He's got a clean shaven face, pretty bright red haired, and at this point it's probably early afternoon, kind of that sort of time frame. And he'll be like, "Ah, yes, how can I help you?"
Hi, Mr. McGee. I'm Corporal.
I'm Corporal James Miller.
I'm with the Texas Rangers. I'm investigating
You're here asking after me kids, yes?
I am.
Well, I'll tell you what I told Blevins. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Blevins?
He's a private investigator. I'm trying to make this a bit more official.
I appreciate some real credence being given to this. They're children, for Christ's sake. Sammy and Molly, my whole world, were playing in an alley not a block or two from here. And alley they play in regularly. It seemed to be getting late and hadn't come back yet. They know to be back before dark. We went to where they were and see neither head nor tail of them. Haven't heard a word. None of their friends were out with them that day. It was just the two of them.
Well,
I know that. I know that Molly never lets her red-haired doll leave her side. It's something that's been in the family a couple years. She holds it close. Couldn't find it neither. Not in that alleyway.
okay. About how long ago was that?
This was about a week ago now.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to know insert name of grocer or the bed and breakfast lady.
Kate Duff.
Kate Duff. You wouldn't happen to know a Kate Duff, would you?
Duff. I believe Blevins mentioned something about her. She runs the bed and breakfast somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Don't know her personally.
That's all I need to know. Okay. Well, we'll. I just wanted to let you know that we're on the case.
Thank you. Please bring my kids back safe.
We'll do our best, sir. And we'll go. We'll go.
The alley would kind of be on the way to the bed and breakfast. If those are the kind of the two.
Yeah, I'm thinking about. How do you feel about being bait, Ed?
She is too ugly to be bait.
Be nice.
That's not way to treat a lady.
I mean, I'm not necessarily against it, but like, there's not necessarily a guarantee that he'll take me.
Right. Well, I'm
This
thinking
seems to
of
target a little bit at everybody.
setting you up in the alley there, and setting somebody to sit across the street and watch you. Who has stealth?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Do you have stealth?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
I could be the surly drunk, and then the two players could have.
if we
have
could
stealth
find
and
a
watch
like,
me.
that's true. If we could find a room as well for somebody to hide in across the street, stealth may not matter as much.
Just someplace with a view of that alley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think somebody should be hiding, or is there like an inn or some other room, like from when we get to the alley?
Yeah, let's go check
This
this out.
is, yeah, you can go to the alley and just describe there. If you want to do like a survival to like look for tracks or anything, you're welcome to.
Sure, I won't get my plus on account of this not being
Definitely not the
wilderness.
wilderness. You could make an argument for Rasputin, not for this. 5?
5 here as well.
There is no short supply of tracks and people moving through here, but nothing that seems
No blood
dangerous.
trail.
No blood trail. No blood trail here. And it is entirely residential in this area, so there's not like there's plenty of rooms that could overlook, or like there's a room or two that could overlook this alley, but they'd be in people's homes, not in.
Well, that's good to know.
established.
But you might also be able to flex some Texas Ranger authority.
We'll get to that. I think just because it's about
Texas
that time
Rangers,
of
I'm
day,
gonna need the use of the second floor bedroom.
just because it's about that time of day, I'd like to have something set up while I'm finishing my questioning, just because we happen to line up here. So, Jeffers, how about you? Well, you won't hand off your gun, Professor. Why don't you disarm yourself? Don't look armed.
I mean, I'm happy to be bait as well.
I just think you're gonna be better at hiding. What's your stealth? That's kind of
D6.
but yeah.
D6.
I just think you're better at hiding. So I'm gonna have Grimes come with me, and you set up hiding, and then you can be bait, and then you two will come with me. That way, you can.
Okay, can't guarantee I won't just shoot him when he appears.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, and I don't carry like a rifle on me, and the only guns I have are the gadgets. But I could give you one of them, and then I can hold on to the entangled gun because it sits on my back.
Sure,
Like,
I just don't want you to look
behind
like you're
me.
armed. I want you to look like you're a vulnerable person.
I mean, I don't wear bullets or anything on my belt or anything, so we could. So
Yeah,
I mean,
then
pretty sure
you're.
I could see it.
I guess you'll be fine. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you weren't.
Look like a crazy professor.
Yeah, maybe look a little drunk. Here, take a shot of whiskey or something.
Hey!
Oh, you're handing me your flask. All right. I take like three super big swigs, like almost empty it.
Whiskey is on your breath.
All right. So yeah, I think that'll be a good, because at least we'll know if somebody approaches you. Don't go off with any strangers. This is just a recon mission.
Well, I'll try not to, but I'm three gulps of whiskey in. Who knows what'll happen?
Do we want to see
You
if
might get lucky.
somebody with a house across the street would let me just camp in their second floor window? I would like.
Okay.
Meet you.
We can do that
Knock
first.
on the door, because I'm pretty sure the only way that succeeds is if we have the guy with the badge there.
Fair enough. So yeah,
Guy answers the door. Yeah, Ranger.
Ranger.
How can I help you, sir?
Well, we've had some people go missing in the area.
Heard about those kids. Damn shame. Damn shame.
Don't mean to alarm you.
Looks over his shoulder. Two kids in a cage.
I look over
Kicks the cage back over.
Don't mean to alarm you. One of the last known locations of those kids was this alley next door. I'd like to set up one of my posse in a window overlooking that alley, just to see if we can spot anything.
Go ahead and give me persuasion. Whoa, Ranger, go ahead and give me a persuasion on that.
That's gonna be a 4.
4? Be like, happy to help however I can. This is a ranger who's gonna be. How long do they need to be staking out this spot?
Only a couple hours.
Fair enough, but just no problem.
Yep.
Who are you gonna be coming in?
No, this young lady here is helping me out.
With a sharp buffalo rifle about as tall as I am.
You look at me like, you're a little young to be a ranger, ain't you? Little lady?
Ranger in training, let's say.
Fair enough. Your name?
Ed.
Ed. Ed's no name for a lady.
Trust me, sir, she is no lady.
Damn. That
Well,
would be
come on
time.
And he'll let you into the house. He has a 2-story house. You could be on a window that overlooks the alley, and you can see him pretending to be the professor in there if you'd like.
All right, and we'll go check out the.
What I see is the professor in his natural habitat.
In an alleyway.
And then you and right, so the 3 of you are going to go to the bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, going there. You can go inside it, and there's like a person at the front desk, a guy who's like, "Oh, welcome in. Are you needing a room for the night?"
We're actually doing a bit of investigating. I'll show him my badge.
Looking for Kate.
Yes.
Thank goodness. About time somebody with some real authority did. Kate's, best woman I know. She's given me this job, and I needed it awful bad, so I hope she gets found soon. Miss Duff, she's management here. She runs the place. What I know is she was out grocery shopping, getting some food for the next week's patrons, and she never came back.
Could you tell me which grocery store?
Well, she went to a number of different places. I know she went to the huh?
Well, the Kroger over there.
Well, there's a produce spot not too far from here. She stopped by. I'm sure she would usually try to keep fresh meat for the patrons, of course, as well. She probably went to the butcher's shop, and as well as we have a local dairy. A local dairy operates somewhere nearby to get some cheeses and milks and whatnot.
And about what time did she go missing?
Well, she left rather early in the morning, and then I don't know. Last I saw of her was leaving that morning. She would normally be back around this time in the day.
Okay. Well, I'll get the names and locations of those 3 spots.
Okay.
And I'll just ask them as we go. Or I'll see if like on the map if I can see like, well, obviously you would go here first and then here and then here and then head back.
Well, if you draw the locations out on a map, it's a pentagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were we told the names?
To this,
Were we told the name? Because there were 5 people that have gone missing, right? The 2 kids, her,
And the drunk.
yeah, the drunk.
And there's also Handyman who went missing.
Right. Were we told the name of the handyman and
Yes.
the drunk?
Yeah.
Yes, you're told both their names. Jeff Rivers is the local handyman, and Oscar O'Neill was the drunk.
What are you thinking?
They're all Irish.
Is Miss Duff Irish?
You're asking him if she's Irish. He said, well, I don't know what exactly. She didn't have an accent or anything. I think she's from around here.
Just a pattern.
Yeah. Just.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. If you
Now
hear-
I wish.
Yeah, now
I wish. I don't want to like spoil things. That's not what's going on here. But now I wish it was, and that the villain of this was a leprechaun. Amazing story.
Actually, what I was expecting was a banshee.
Banshee.
So it's like, so all of the people are Irish, and then it turns into this like banshee hunt in the city was like where I was going. But if that's not the case, then
Who knows if that's the case? I just wish that I had a villain leprechaun.
It's one of
That
those,
may happen in the future.
it's one of those moments where
You're
a player has suggested something to the DM's like, damn it.
If only I had thought of that.
Never mind.
Well, if you hear anything, you can reach out to the sheriff's station. They'll get a hold of me.
Of course.
And yeah.
Well, the problem is to get a hold of him is send a message back home to see if he's there.
Yeah. Dorothy's real pissed.
I haven't seen him in months.
So yeah, I'll kind of like see if I can map out that path.
It seems like, I mean, almost to be incredibly irritating and hard to use as a clue,
Right.
they're fairly equidistant in 3 different directions. Like, they probably go to either the right or the left and then go down the line, but neither would make more sense than the other to start with. It'd be about the same either way. It'd be a loop in either direction.
Well, that just means I only have to check 2 places. So I'll check the butcher shop first, and then I'll check the produce stand.
Okay. The produce stand's the one in the middle, so it'd be like butcher or dairy.
Okay, I'll check
The produce stand would be the natural second place to go to from either of those.
Gotcha. I'll go to the butcher shop and see if they recognize Miss Duff.
All right.
Last time they saw her.
Going to the butcher shop, there's what's clearly a larger like abattoir. It's like a big. It's like clear there's like a pretty big in like manufacturing like butchering, and there's also like a small butcher's stand or not stand but like shop front at the bottom of this abattoir. And going to it, there is a gentleman who runs it that I know the name of. Ollie Stanton. He introduced himself. It's Ollie Stanton. How can I help you, Ranger?
Well, I'm tracking down a missing person. It goes Miss Holly Duff.
Like, Miss Duff, yeah, she came through here weekly. I'm afraid that I haven't seen her she didn't come last week at all. I haven't seen her since then.
Would you happen to remember if she came in the morning or a little bit later?
She tended to be here fairly early in the morning. Not first light, but before midday.
Perfect. That's exactly what I need to know.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to your business. Appreciate it. We'll go to the dairy, but I think I can know what I'll find.
Going to the dairy, there's someone at the dairy as well. Hello, can I interest you in any dairy products, Ranger?
No, I'm just looking for some information on Miss Holly.
Miss Duff?
Duff,
Is that
yes.
right? Yes. I comes through here all the time. She works at the bed and breakfast, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep. When she last came in, would have been about over a week ago.
You know, she didn't come last week. She usually does.
Does she usually come in the mornings or the afternoons?
About midday, more often than not. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Did she mention last time she was here where else she was headed?
No, she usually. Let's go ahead and give me a persuasion. Persuasion.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. That's cough snuck up on me.
I'm gonna spend a penny on this.
Okay.
Just today. Oh wait. Oh, it's per session, not per day. Same. So only a 3 on that one.
I'll be like, no. I think she's just kind of running errands, picking up stuff for the bed and breakfast whenever she came through.
Okay. Well, if you think of anything else, feel free to contact me. You can send a message.
Call 1-800-RANGER.
That's not bad.
Well, of course, we'll do.
Does Holly Duff look like Hillary Duff?
You don't know?
Who knows? Easy there, Grimes.
Right now, who knows what she looks like?
True.
Oh yeah, she could be looking like a pile of body.
She might be looking like a snack.
I go back to the butcher. Dear God. Okay, well, I'll,
In this amount of time,
yeah.
Drunk professor in the alley is avoided by everyone.
Yeah.
Nobody approaches the weird old dude who smells of whiskey sitting in the alley.
Nope, there we go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I guess we'll leave that to marinate until evening.
Okay.
yeah,
that's no way marinate.
You just leave the drunk bastard in the alley.
You've got sniper.
So you are
Overwatch.
you're gonna wait until like even nightfall.
I'll wait until somebody comes to get me, probably.
I'll leave him out on the hook until nightfall, because it seems like nobody went missing after dark. At least in my pattern so far. I'll do some. I'd like to investigate the handyman in the meantime, but I don't. Do we have like an address or anything like that?
It seems like He didn't have an address for him. If you'd like to ask around to see if you could find
Yeah.
where the guy lived, he seemed
Seems
to
like
work
a
around here.
Close neighborhood, so I'll ask about it.
Okay.
Probably to the
yeah.
dairy guy, right?
Wild
You can ask, if you ask him, he's like, "Oh yeah, we have some stuff that needs fixed every now and then. We know this gentleman. He's got like a small shop that he runs, and he gives you the address to it."
Okay. Yeah, we'll head over there.
Okay, heading there. It is currently empty.
All right.
Small shop seems to have like random bits and bobs and tools inside of it.
Is the door locked?
You go and test it, and it appears to be unlocked.
All right. We'll walk in.
There's a grisly murder scene.
Yes.
No grisly murder scene.
Someone's murdered a grizzly.
Dear God.
And inside you find that there's kind of just like what I described. Like there's some tools and stuff around. There seems to be a small cot in the back that he probably sleeps out of.
Hey, help me look for.
Go ahead and
oh, sorry.
notice. Or what are you looking for?
I was gonna ask these guys to help me look around, split up and look around for invoices. It sounds really boring to say it like that, but
Really?
like,
Go ahead and roll notices.
yep, rolling a notice. So
Square knows all about invoices.
I know that's why I was like,
No,
I don't think
way
you-
too much
you're
about
moving that.
invoices.
Sorry.
Notice.
Notice.
So you have so it's
It's
that,
nice.
but no -2.
Yeah. 2.
0.
0 to
11.
11. You guys are looking all over the place. You find a pocketbook, like a little book that he has written down, like he has all of his stuff
go,
done.
Jeff.
And you can see that there's, like, if you flip to the end of it, there's, like, it looks like he maybe writes these out, and then it seems like he crosses them out as they're done, and there are 2 that are not crossed out on the list, like 2 different addresses on the list there. And it seems like it's like one, and it's like an address, and it says door handle, and then the other is an address, and it says gate.
All right, we'll take that for evidence. I don't have a plastic bag.
You don't need one.
Yeah. We'll take that for
Fingerprints ain't
evidence.
been invented yet.
It's true.
Government didn't start issuing
chain of
fingerprints until.
So we're gonna mosey on down to the first address.
Okay. So
Door
the
handle
door handle address, and door handle address guy answers the door, and he walks in and says, "How can I help you, Ranger?"
Well, I'm doing some investigating, looking for it was Oliver, wasn't it? It was Oliver the drummer.
Oscar is the
Oscar.
drunk. This is Jeff Rivers.
Jeff Rivers. Looking for Jeff Rivers. I was wondering if he found you on X day. For
He'd
your
be like, he's like
Jeff?
the date. Those aren't dated, but he says, "Oh yeah, River. He was what was that? 4 or 5 days ago. Came through here. I had a handle loose, not really working in my upstairs room there. He came and just kind of tightened down the bolts for me, fixed it all up.
But he was here. Could you give me about a? You said 5 days ago. Insert date.
Yeah.
Date and time. Yeah.
5 days ago, and he was. I want to say he came here around midday.
Midday. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Did
That's-
quick work.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to hear. You say he left here probably a little bit after midday, but fast work.
Probably early afternoon when he left.
Okay. Appreciate it. Next address. I'll ask him for directions to the next address.
He'll give.
Do you know who is that address?
You're like, I don't know, but that street's just one over from here.
Okay. I'd like to do some triangulation, see if he's like passing the alley there or how close it is.
It seems like he's not. To move from one to the other, it doesn't go through that specific alley.
Okay.
There is alleys in that path, but
Gotcha.
not the specific one.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, you're
it's
going
one of
to
those,
that-
It doesn't have to get grabbed specifically from that alley. It could be getting grabbed from alleys. Like
Yeah.
But
And so you're going to the other one, I assume, from there. And going to that, a lady answers the door. You can hear some clucking out back of her house, and she comes up and like, "Oh yes, how can I help you, Sheriff?"
well, I'm looking into a missing persons report. Looking for a Jeff Rivers.
Jeff, oh I know Jeff. He comes and fixes my coupe all the time.
Did he? Was he here on, X day?
It was
about
like 5
mid-afternoon?
days ago. He said, "Oh yeah, he came here. I'd say 1-2 p.m.
Okay.
somewhere around there. I had the gate once again. Hinges are crap on it. He came to fix that up. Fortunately, he's a good guy, that Mr. Rivers. Times are hard,
And have you heard anything from him since?
No, can't say I have. He finished the job and was out after that.
Okay. About what time would that be?
That probably took him a while. The gates took him a while. But I say he left here a little before dusk.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of try. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like kind of orient myself which way back to his shop it would be.
You can do so.
Yeah. And we're gonna do a walk. So you guys are gonna help me look for clues while we walk back there, see if there's any. Huh? That's weird. There's a bullet hole right here.
I'm looking for blood.
Yeah,
Okay,
blood.
go ahead and give me some notices.
Okay.
Alright.
Notices from the crew. We're
I still
looking
in
for
the
clues,
alleyway?
gang.
You are still sitting, pretending to be drunk in the alley this entire day.
Four.
Wait, what'd you get?
5.
5, 4,
5, 0.
0.
That's why I bring these.
You
fuckers
guys
with me.
don't find any signs of it.
Okay.
No blood?
No blood.
Do we pass by like alleyway? I assume there's like alleyways as we walk.
There
past.
is, definitely.
Okay. Is there any like? I guess we don't notice anything. We notice what we notice.
You notice what you notice. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
At this point, it's starting to get closer to the evening as you're kind of traverse through all this stuff, and as like nightfall is somewhat soon to be approaching. It's like just before nightfall, really, or just before dusk, I would say. Professor, sitting in the alleyway.
Giant rat.
A figure you can see like it's on the street, so it's like street, you're on the house over here, and it looks across the street down this alley, and there's a lady who's walking along that path, and she kind of stops and turns and looks and starts walking towards the professor.
Okay.
And a lady walks up to you and is like, "Poor old soul, I don't recognize you. Are you from here?"
No, ma'am. No, I just got into town maybe a few hours ago, earlier today.
You on hard times?
You could say that.
Well, I wish the best for you. And she's gonna flip a quarter to you and be like, "Get yourself something to eat." And then she's going to walk back out and down the street.
Thank you, ma'am. Now,
Get my hopes
is
up.
there anything? I'm kind of like, thank you. Is there anything like suspicious about the quarter? Like,
looks like a quarter.
Wait, this is made out of wood.
COVID-19 is ravaging effects. Mad scientists everywhere. Struck hard times.
And she will walk around, and then at about this time, as you said you'd wait till about nightfall to go back to them, so you're going to go back over there and kind of regather the posse.
All right,
With some
team
information, and I think that's where we're going to stop this episode, and you guys can
Gather clues.
compare information and make a next move for the next episode.
Sounds like a
You
plan.
hunt down who is behind these disappearances.
Shifty
We'll see you
name.
in the next one.
All I've learned today is the professor's a boring person.
I was being drunk, bastard.